G'day, it's Jimmy here for Rip It Up TV, and I'm joined by Declan and Nick from British India, who've been kind enough to invite me up to their hotel room today. Thanks, guys.
And let you sit on my bed.
And this is your last stop in your tour of Australia.
Yeah.
How's it all been going?
Yeah, it's been, the vanilla tour has gone really well. It's one of those things, I know every tour kind of exceeds my expectations. You know, I'm always like so tentative as to whether or not anyone's going to come. And these shows, like the vast majority have sold out, and we've gone some crazy little places and had many good times.
Touring's always it's something that keeps evolving as to what you get out of it. I think, like, I don't know, it's a strange thing.
I've got to ask, new album coming out soon. What's the story there?
What isn't the story there? It's yet another chapter in our lives that we're about to open.
You think he's joking, but it is like that. It's like, you do these records. It takes like, I don't know, 12 months to write, 3 months to record. It is like a big slab of your life.
And then you spend the next year touring it, doing it, and all the while writing the next one. But I think this one is really, really good. In fact, I think it's the best.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty crazy. I don't think anyone in this country certainly has put out a record quite like it in a number of years. Oh, I'm not joking. I'm serious. Cool. It's and it took us a long time to do. Took a bit more time with this one after Thieves, because Guillotine and Thieves kind of came out quite quickly. We knew we wanted to, we knew that this one was really going to have to be mega. So up the ante, and we took our time with it. It's written over a long period of time, so it's not rushed, and it's a good batch of songs.
Is this another Harry Vander extravaganza album?
Unfortunately, Thieves was the last extravaganza. We just couldn't line things up with Harry this time, so...
The crazy Dutchman bit the dust. Gone and produced it ourselves with Glenn Goldsmith. It's Sing Sing Studios, Melbourne. It's going to be out in April, we think. And I think it's going to make us bigger than the Queen.
The amount of time and care we've taken with this one. And that's the only reason why this has taken any longer than any of the others. The process has been the same, just a bit more involved and concentrated. And it definitely shows.
But we've kind of learnt how to write a new kind of song.
Right.
Yeah, we kind of mastered this new kind of song, whereas like the first two albums were like made up of, archetypal British India punk songs, and like the pop songs like Tie My Hands and that as well. So the third song in this is like not so fast, but it's still really heavy, and I don't want to say epic, but it's like it's certainly bigger. It sounds like it belongs on a big stage.
Have there been any new influences you've taken on for this one?
I don't think this one has any really different influences.
The influences are just whatever you're doing, like if you're into a book, or if you're into a movie, or if you're into a song or whatever, it just sort of always comes out in a different way into what you can always sort of find something to apply to it. So yeah. It's not as necessarily, we were listening to heaps of this or that or whatever.
Jazz Odyssey.
Yeah, and we've gone down that path, and we don't really respond to things like that, I don't think.
Your influence is just kind of like what you were listening to on the way to the studio.
Yeah.
And it changes when you walk out.
And after tonight, you're sort of taking a bit of a break, aren't you? You're sort of not playing many of the summer festivals coming up?
Like the single comes out in February, we won't be playing shows until March. And I'd say it's probably the biggest break we've had since we released Tie My Hands in, what was it, 2006? 2007? 2007?
One for years.
Last couple of years must have been a bit of a blur then.
It just seems like there's you don't live the year, it just sort of all sort of fades into one sort of, you're always going on to the next thing, so it all seems a part of the same plan.
That's always been what we're about though, British India, like ever since we first started getting on stage, it was just like, we do everything quickly, we play quickly, we set up quickly, we write songs quickly, we make records quickly, and
we get bored tremendously easily, we just don't like being around for too long, doing nothing, left to our own devices. It always turns out for the worst, that.
And then we understand that, bands, things like this, they don't last for very long. I mean, you don't know. I don't know. I think that the difference you make of music you make when you're quite young to when you're quite older, I think there's usually a marked difference in a lot of people.
We sort of reiterate, forebodings that like burnt out old stars have given us that have known.
Does anyone remember Goanna? No? Okay, move on.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Standing on
Sacred ground. Is that the melody?
Can't wait for the new album when it comes out next year.
Cool, man. Rip it up TV. Till death.